Okay, so here you can see I've set it to hidden line mode. I quite like this for matching this geometry to reference images because sometimes it gets confusing if you can actually see the geometry through the head. So say if you can see the back of the head through the front of the head, you don't know what points you're really pulling around. So I'm just going to start by sort of like pulling the points around in the geometry using the point radial fall off on the move tool, or the drag tool, sorry. Quite a big brush here, just sort of roughly blocking in the sort of shapes of the face and moving large areas of the mesh around, just sort of getting the shape of the jaw and stuff there. And obviously the ears are in completely different position here. So we're just going to drag that around and try and get it as close as possible as we can to the mesh. So you can see here I've got symmetry turned on because we know the profile of the face is symmetrical, so it makes sense to just do this symmetrical to start off with. And obviously what you can do later on is, because you've saved out those reference images as PSDs, once you've modeled this face to match exactly the reference that you've got, and you've got a good base and you're happy with it, you can go back into Photoshop and you can turn off the symmetrical side of the face, and then you can replace the image in Lightwave with the non-symmetrical image, and obviously then you can just pull one side of the face around so that you've got your asymmetry back, which is always a nice thing to do because a symmetrical face looks strange whatever you do. So just pulling some of the points around there, just pulling the inside of the mouth and the top of the lips. And I mean, this is, it's a fairly simple process. Once you've got a base head, it's quite easy to very quickly knock up something that looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to go into skin shaders or anything in this tutorial. Maybe in the next one I'll have a look at those. This is just a really quick, easy way to get fast results and that look good. So just pulling a few bits of geometry around here. I think I'm actually just going to speed this up a bit because I do this for the next sort of 10 minutes and it might get a bit boring. Okay, so just pulling the air around a bit, the side of the back of the head there. And yeah, again, I'm sorry about the frame rate on this. So what we can do here now, actually, and this is the cool part, because we created those boxes earlier and we know they're in the right place and they're the right size, all we need to do to project this texture back onto the face, very simply, is select the box surface, set it to UV, or set it to planar, sorry, automatic sizing, and that fits the image exactly to that box. And just copy that surface, select the base head, select the texture and the color tab there, and I'll just select the head to show you. It looks a bit strange there, but we'll just do add to layers, and you can see that's instantly mapped that head as a planar map straight onto the face. So we can see that in the texture mode there, and just full size of there. I mean, obviously this looks really strange. This is sort of 5 minutes work probably. There's nothing about this that's actually taking any time really. But what the great thing about this is, once we've got the texture planar mapped on here, we can actually drag the geometry around and you'll see it update on the screen. So you can instantly pick out errors and where the geometry doesn't match the mesh, which is quite hard to do whenever you've got it in a 2D view, like on the bottom left there. But actually seeing it in 3D, it makes it a lot easier to be able to sort of pull the geometry around and match it up to the reference image as close as possible. You can see with the lips here, we've got errors with sort of along the middle of them there where they meet. And again, if you look at the nose here, there's quite a lot of sort of, the geometry doesn't exactly match the reference image there, but the great thing about this is just turn on the texture wired view and we can just go in and sort of pull the geometry around so it does match. Like so. And this is a very, very easy, very quick way to create photorealistic sort of faces very quickly. I mean, what I'm doing here, I mean, this, to be honest with you, would probably, I'd spend a couple of days doing this to get it right, and I'm just doing it very quickly here just to show you how I go about doing these things. So, what I'm making here, this isn't, well, it's not a good mesh by my estimations. I'm just doing it very quickly as a sort of an example. And once we've done the front, we can then sort of start having a look at the side. So we'll just open up the side panel there, and again this is in wireframe mode, but if you do it in hidden line, I think it's much easier. And you can see there the effects of our pulling the mesh around. He's got a really distorted sort of egg-shaped head, which we don't want at all. So we'll just sort of drag this mesh down here, sort of pull the forehead out a bit. Just trying to match the profile as closely as possible, really. So just pulling in the back of the head here. I mean, again, I'm literally just working on the profile here. I mean, there's a lot more that you need to do to this, to work on sort of the volumes of the head and everything. But this is just a very rough test, really. Okay, you can see there the ears are in the wrong place. I'm using quite a large brush here because I'm just pulling around large parts of the face just to get them to sort of match. Just pull the ear down there. Again, we don't want to pull the ears around too much because we know they're sort of slightly off in the reference, and it's probably something that if you had the time, you'd go in and actually do the ears separately, create a separate piece of reference, and project them separately and model them separately. But I guess all this technique is showing you is how to get a good base, a good start on a head. Just pull the nose around there. Move the inside of the nose in. I think we've got the chin and stuff like that, and work out the profile of the chin very easily using this. Just pull the lips out a bit there. And again, I'll not bother with that, with his actual neck. So we'll just do exactly the same technique that we did with the front to map the side on. So we'll just select the side box that we created, select that as planar, select the side and stick it on X, automatic sizing, and there we go. And now we know that's going to match exactly with the side of the head because it matches exactly with the reference. So we'll just copy and we'll just paste that layer back on to the side of the head, and there you can see we've got the front and the side. We can just tick them off and on with that box there, and there you can see we've got the side sort of fairly accurately mapped on. I mean, the eyes are completely wrong, but it's getting there. And in the next tutorial I'll show you how to do some baking and how to combine these maps and sort of bake them back into the UV map rather than just having them as planar maps, which are fairly useless for animation. So there you go, you can see you've got the front and the side mapped on. And that's about it for this tutorial. I hope it's been helpful. If you want to find out any more or have a look at any more of our work or tutorials, you can go to our blog, which is www.1024.info/blog, or you can have a look at our studio website, which is www.1024.info. Thanks very much.